let's make chicken bacon ranch pasta here at the Young's house. When I tell you this recipe is absolutely amazing, trust me, it's so easy to make. Anybody you make it for, they're gonna absolutely love it. Here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need some noodles. Now listen, I just happen to have some rotini noodles. That's what we're gonna use. They're the spiral kind. Of course, you could use the kind that have the different colors, or really you could use whatever kind of pasta you would like to use for this recipe. I got some half and half. I have half and half, but you can use heavy whipping cream if you would like to. Either one's going to do the same thing for this recipe. You're going to need some ranch dressing, your favorite ranch dressing you're going to be using, and some bacon. And for those that don't eat pork, no worries. You can always use a turkey or a beef bacon, okay? But you definitely need some bacon for this recipe. And I have like 3 thinly sliced, boneless, skinless chicken breasts we're going to be using. In my pan here, I got a little bit of cooking oil so we can cook up that lovely chicken and some spices. Spices to make it come together and taste amazing. I will be using some chicken bouillon powder. If you don't have it or you just don't want to use it, you can always use salt. I do have some salt here, black pepper, garlic, and onion powder, some parsley flakes for color. If you wanted to put some fresh peas in here, you can do that too. Make sure your hands are clean. Let's make delicious chicken bacon ranch pasta. Hope y'all are having a great weekend today. Happy weekend. What are you all having for dinner? If you're not having a good weekend, hopefully I can brighten up your day with this here recipe. I'm telling you, you are going to love it. So the first thing we're going to get started with is let's get started cooking up our noodles. I'm using the rotini noodles. Really all depends on how many people you're cooking for. That's going to depend on how many noodles you'll use. I'm going to use about 1 pound. Okay, I have my water boiling. When you're making pasta, always salt the water to give the noodles some great flavor, right? If you're not salting them, your noodles will be flavorless. So let's go ahead and do that, and guess what I do? Only cook it for 11 minutes. 11 minutes is going to give you that perfect al dente noodle where it's chewy to the tooth and never mushy. Now that we have our noodles boiling, now's the perfect time to get started with your bacon. And remember, if you don't eat pork, no worries, use turkey or beef, like I said, okay? Because I don't want, sometimes when there's pork in the recipe, somebody will say, I can't make the recipe. Yes, you can. Just use turkey bacon. All right, so use as much or as least as you would like to use. You could even use the real bacon bits if you wanted to, if you didn't feel like frying up some bacon. I'll probably use about 6 or 7 pieces. We're going to go ahead and get them nice golden brown and crispy. So now, when you're making this recipe, you could use a boneless, skinless chicken thigh if you wanted to. All right, but I'm using chicken breast and it is boneless, skinless. We need to go ahead and slice it. You can slice it, dice it, however you want, okay? Just try to make them all the same size pieces. When I do that, it really helps for all the pieces to get done about the same time. And then we're going to season them. When we season them up really good, I want to let these beautiful spices kind of seep down into this gorgeous protein for about 15 minutes before we even begin to cook it, right? What that's going to do is give it more flavor, right? And I always like to tell everybody, when you take your meats out of the refrigerator, don't cook it right away. When it's super cold, it's going to cook up nice and dry. But you let it kind of hang out on the counter for a little while, it's always going to cook up much better for you. So let me show you the slices that we have here, what they're looking like. Show you beautiful slices like that, but maybe it's a little too long. So let's go ahead and cut it in half. It's going to give you more. Okay, so we're going to do that, and when I come back, we're going to season these things to perfection. And if you're that person that's afraid to season, don't be. Because otherwise your food will be flavorless. Let's talk. I want to know, how was your New Year's? Did you come up with a New Year's resolution? Are you even doing a New Year's resolution? Some people this year are saying they're not doing one this year. I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. I want to know what you made for New Year's. Did you make one of Gina Young's recipes? Did you have a party? I want to know all the stuff you did and what you plan on doing different this year. Let me hear from you. Bacon is smelling absolutely amazing. How many of you love the smell of fresh coffee and bacon in the morning? So it's like the best. And I got a nice cup of coffee over here. I'm going to go in with some salt. And I always like to tell everybody, listen, if you can't use salt, leave it out. It'll be okay. Let your loved ones season it with salt theirself, okay? I'm going in with a nice amount of garlic powder on purpose, yep. And we're using some black pepper. I did bring in an ingredient that I didn't tell you about. I'm going to use a little bit of paprika because it makes everything nice and purty. It's not smoked, okay? Onion powder and parsley flakes into the pan where I have just a little bit of oil in this pan. Just enough oil so we can fry up this chicken. It's really not often that I'll turn around and make some bacon in a frying pan. I don't know when's the last time I made bacon in the frying pan. Let me know in the comment section. Do you all cook your bacon on the stove top, or do you do it like I do? Because like 99% of the time, I'm cooking my bacon in the oven. There's no turning it, no fuss, right? Let me know how you cook yours. Go ahead and put our seasoned chicken right into our pan with that little bit of oil. You know, honestly, if you wanted to use some butter to cook this, absolutely you could, okay? It would just bring extra flavor. And now what I'm going to do, once I separate the pieces, because you don't want the pieces piled on top of each other, they would just steam. If you're making sure that each piece of chicken is touching the circumference of the pan, you're good to go. That way they're getting a nice sear. Now guess what I'm going to do? Anytime, I like to always tell you all this because there's people that just don't know. When you are done dealing with your meats, seasoning your meats, cutting your meats, you got to either switch out your cutting board or sanitize it. I'm taking mine over to the sink. I'm going to sanitize it and wash my hands up very well. And when I come back, everything will be nice and sanitized. That way, we're not taking bacteria and putting it onto other things that we make up. Our noodles are cooked to perfection. We're going to get ready to strain them in the strainer. In the meantime, let's take a peek in at this lovely chicken. If you guys can, I'm hoping the camera can really show you what it's looking like. It is looking beautiful. And the whole house smells amazing. Take a peek in at this chicken. Oh my goodness, it's finally done. Okay, and so now we're going to turn around, put all of our chicken onto a nice platter, a plate, or wherever. Okay, you can use the same pan. You don't even have to rinse it off. You don't. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. Now is the perfect time. We're going to take this lovely bacon that we cooked, and we're going to chop it down, okay? You can pull it apart if you want, but I'm going to chop mine just like so. Now, my noodles are done, and I have rinsed them, okay, with a little bit of cool water, okay? So we're going to have to bring them back up to temperature, you know. All right, lovely, just like this. Let's go ahead and put our bacon right on top of the chicken, okay? And then we're going to take our noodles that we made, put it right into the pan that we didn't rinse off because there's a lot of seasoning in there, okay? And so I'm going to put it just like this. And then we're going to take your heavy whipping cream or half and half. I'm using half and half today. Both of them taste the exact same, all right? And this is 32 ounces. I'm going to use all of it because I want it to be nice and creamy and dreamy. Okay, lovely. And then we're going to turn around and put our ranch in here. That heavy whipping cream or your half and half, trust me, it thickens up during the cooking process. Once I get this open, we'll come back, put some ranch in. Now let's have some fun. And I know there's going to be some people in the background that's going to say, how come you ain't putting cheese in there? Because cheese don't belong in Gina Young's recipe for this. This is chicken bacon ranch pasta. And I feel like, just being honest, if you put like a Parmesan cheese in it, then you make it taste like Alfredo. And I have a different Alfredo recipe for you that I want you to follow, okay? So now this is, how much is it? 16 fluid ounces. Put you some in there, almost the whole bottle, okay? That's where our flavor is going to come in. And I can feel that I use just about the whole bottle, okay? But not the whole bottle. Look at this. This is creamy, dreamy. This is everything that you could imagine. This is what dreams are made of. I'm not kidding. Any of that little liquid that's in there, get that in there too. And then we're going to come back and season it. Let's go ahead and season it. Don't be afraid to season, okay? Going in with a nice amount of garlic powder on purpose. Right, we're going to put that parsley flakes because it makes everything gorgeous for this recipe. If you wanted to use fresh parsley, absolutely you can. It's going to really make it nice and vibrant. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. We will let this simmer for about, let's just say 8 minutes, and you're good to go. We're going to put some onion powder in. Oh yeah, it smells amazing. And then that little bit of chicken bouillon. If you don't have it, you can leave it out, but I'm going to suggest get you some. Get you some and put it in there. You see, that's about maybe a teaspoon, maybe a tablespoon, okay? We're going to taste it and see if we're happy with the seasoning, and if at any time we're not happy, we're going to re-season this thing. Take a look at this. Lovely. Let it simmer. Once you let it simmer, trust me, it'll thicken up. Now listen, let me tell you how you're going to serve this. You're going to serve this with some nice crusty bread, maybe a French or an Italian bread loaf, your favorite cornbread or a dinner roll, and just sop that sauce up. You know how to sop the sauce up. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Tell the world what Gina's doing every single day in this kitchen, and Father, on today, we thank you for this beautiful meal, your hedge of protection, and your love. Amen. It's ready to taste. You're ready to taste. I'm not even going to plate it up right now. I got a couple spoons so we can taste this. I'm going right in. Oh my goodness, for this pasta and that lovely piece of chicken right there. It's hot, but I know y'all want me to try it. Let's see. Give me the chicken, y'all. Are you kidding me? This is so good. Make you some. You're gonna love this.